is up? We just finished the MW3 campaign as of yesterday. I wanted today to kind of sit and think about what I played and my thoughts and gather my thoughts and make sure that I didn't say things that I would have changed after going back and looking at it. So I took a whole day to kind of sit and think, then edited the footage. After I edited the footage, I was able to kind of collect my thoughts and make a much more detailed analysis. But I definitely felt this was short of what they could come up with, and for a $70 price tag, garbage. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's not good. It's not very good, and I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna explain why I think it was not a very good campaign. Starting with the story. The story was extremely short. I finished the campaign in 4 hours and like 10 minutes. I was under the full impression I was going to have to do 2 streams to finish it, but obviously that was never reached. The story felt super broken and disjointed, and it was not emotionally drawing to play the campaign. I did not feel emotionally connected or involved or really pulling for one side or the other during the entirety of the campaign. I was bored quickly. I was ready to move on with every mission. I was not excited to play every other mission. It got to a point to where it's okay, I'm ready to be done. To me, it's just obvious that this was DLC because of how short, and then the story was just kind of like rushed. And not to mention, this is all storyline stuff from MW2, not MW3. Yet we're playing MW3. So the story it felt super choppy, broken. It did not feel like it flowed well. In terms of the characters, number one, what in the world is Graves doing back? We thought he was dead, and then he comes back. So my thought was, oh, Graves is back, so he's got to play some kind of important role. No, he just runs the AC-130 for the one mission where you're looking through a thermal and shooting missiles. And when he was coming back for some more important reason, he did not. It felt super silly, to be honest with you, and pointless. And this is my biggest issue with the characters of the story. Was 141 was freaking soft throughout this whole campaign. I mean, it's not the 141 that I played in Modern Warfare 2 or in previous games. It's constantly letting people go, being haunted by it, constant threats of like, well, we should just end it now, and then letting them go, and then the bad guys continue to get away. That's the frustrating part. Graves gets away and comes back into another game. Spoiler alert, huge spoiler alert, Makarov gets away at the end of the game. Which is crazy frustrating because he shoots Soap in the face, a character that we have loved for a long time. Shoots him in the face, done, boom, crosses over the train tracks, gets away. That's it. The mission selection was short, and there was by far way too many open-ended missions. I applaud them for taking a shot and trying to implement something new into the game that was, quote unquote innovative, where you get to play the mission how you want to play the mission. I felt myself getting bored literally in the first one, and I did not really understand the insignificance of what I was doing. That's the bad thing, is like what I was doing in those open-ended missions was like, so what am I doing? I'm hacking these, tracking this, blowing up this, like the most minuscule of tasks. It would have been really cool if we had open-ended missions that led to different storylines. Like if we chose to go this route to save this person and not this person, or we chose this location and not that location, that would have been really cool to see an open-ended mission segment to where it bled into other missions in the story, but we never saw that. I could not stand the open-ended missions because it was just so redundant. Go to this dot on the map, go to this dot on the map, go to this dot on the map. And they tried to cover the map in like clouds or whatever when you pull up the TAC map, but you still see the dots. So it's like, it's pointless anyway. I can see, I just got to go that direction and look in front of me. So don't understand that. MW2 2022 had the scene where you're hanging upside down out of the helicopter shooting. That's Call of Duty. That's the John Wick, fun stuff that Call of Duty is. It felt like this. I was constantly crawling through grass because I didn't have to feel like fighting through enemies and all those open-ended missions where it's like, I'm going to get overran, I'm going to die, I'm going to get frustrated. I was asked in my stream, what was your favorite mission? I honestly could not tell him. Going into aesthetics, the game looked beautiful, but that's a given, man. It's Call of Duty, it's Activision, it's a massive franchise. There should absolutely be stellar graphics throughout the game. That should be a minimum in the game, right? Yes, the game on all the cinematics, it's top tier. It's unbelievable. But that's it. The aesthetics of the levels was nice. Like, we finally got some color. We finally got a little bit of palette going, so it's not like we're looking at sand like in Al Mazrah. It's not quite so bland like Verdansk. It was actually a really nice color. Into gameplay. So gameplay was interesting for me. I had a good time playing the MW3 beta. I thought the gameplay felt super smooth. Maybe it'll stay that way. I hope it stays that way. For the campaign, it did not feel very good to move and shoot. I'll be honest. For me personally, and I don't know if that's from me playing a bunch of Apex recently, that making it seem like, it's not quite as smooth. But this is what I ran into. The game started and my sensitivity was horrifically low. I was like, holy crap, this is like super, super low. Let me bump it up. So I bumped it up. Still crazy low. Okay, bumped it up to like my peak Call of Duty playing time where I'm like at a 12 or a 10. Still felt slow. And then I bumped it up to like a 15 or something like that, 15 or 16, which is almost maxed, which normally in a Call of Duty game, that's insane for me. That's beyond my capabilities. But max it out, and I constantly kept finding myself slamming my thumbstick back and forth, because when you're fighting multiple enemies, I would want to switch to a guy, and I would I would go to the thumbstick and then go, whoop, and then it would slow down like a foot outside the character model, boop, and go, and then I would move it harder to get them there, and then it would jump off of it, and then it would the magnetism was crazy. So I found myself constantly aiming out and aiming back in just so the aim assist would just almost lock on. So that did not feel very good to me to shoot like that. Even playing the last campaign in 2022, I played it and felt like I wanted to play the multiplayer. Like I wanted to play the game. I was kind of pumped, and it kind of gave me the itch to play a Call of Duty game again. This did not. I was ready to be done. 4 hours was quick, and I was glad at some point because I'm just like, I'm done with this. This is not very enjoyable. For my overall score of the game, I broke it down into 3 categories, 3 basic ones: graphics, story, gameplay. Graphics, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Like I said, it's a Call of Duty. It's going to look good, and this is about the only thing that puts the score up for me. Give it an 8 out of 10. The story, I gave it a 3 out of 10. The story was not compelling. It was disjointed. Characters were not character-like, and it was a letdown there. Gameplay, 5 out of 10, slightly better, but like I said before, with the whole aim assist and sensitivity thing, it did not feel good to aim and switch targets throughout the game. I felt very awkward through the entirety of the campaign. So that gives an overall score of 5.5 out of 10. That is my sentiment. I've seen online that's kind of close to what everybody else is saying. Activision, you got to fix your stuff. I mean, even with the launch of the game, I was trying to watch Dr. Disrespect play, and he couldn't even get the game to launch, dude. The campaign could not even launch for him. So it's a big swing and a miss for me. I know that Sledgehammer probably got put in a tough bind with having a short notice. I don't know. It just was not very good. It's a $70 full game. A full game. And just to keep this in mind, it's a really short 4-hour campaign. That's probably the worst in at least the Modern Warfare series. It's bottom 3 for me of all-time CoD campaigns. The $70 price tag with that campaign, and on top of that, it's a multiplayer. Yes, that it's got maps, but it's all reused assets. It's maps we've played before. I want to play new maps. I don't want to play old maps. I want to play new maps. I want to have new and fun things to play, not old things that they're trying to get the nostalgic out of you. Be like, remember how fun this was? And then you play it and like, I remember how fun this was, and this definitely makes me wish I could go back and play that and not this. That's my overall thoughts on the game. I would love to know what you guys think. If that's the same, or if you disagree, or if you agree, please leave a comment. And I will see you guys in the next video. It's been fun. It's been real.